Live from Darth Easy Studios in Eddyville, Kentucky, it's time for another episode of Darth Easy's Game Corner. Tonight, a very special episode because I was just like, hey, let's do a top 10. I haven't done a top 10 in a while. Let's do this on the Game Corner show. So, tonight we are breaking down the top 10 movies or the top 10 games of the 7th generation. That is the Xbox 360, PS3, and Nintendo Wii, I guess would be considered that generation. But anyways, your host, Darth Easy! Hello, Easy Nation. Welcome to another episode of Darth Easy's Game Corner. So I was just sitting around, I was thinking, so I've been thinking a lot about, the PS5's getting ready to come out. And I'm like, well, let's do a top 10. I haven't done a top 10 in a while. But I think I'll do another one. I think I'll do another top 10 right before the PS5 comes out. And I'll do the top 10 games of the 8th generation. But I think I'm going to do top 10 games of the 7th generation. I believe that's what this generation is called. The Xbox 360, that's PS3, because that's mostly what I play. I don't play much Nintendo, and I'm not counting handheld games like Pokemon or any stuff. Otherwise, that would make the list. This was a hard list to compile, I'll be honest with you. I mean, once I started listing the games off, there was a bunch of them, and then finally I was able to narrow the list down, and I think I have a good collection of different types of games. All are very similar, all are very focused in on my kind of play style of what I like in video games. So without any distractions, let's get this started right away. So at number 10, this was, I think, one of the last games of the 360. I think it was the last new game. Well, that's not true. But it's one of the last games I bought for the Xbox 360, and that was Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5, I mean, I will say the story of it I wasn't crazy about, and a lot of the game is focused on multiplayer. I mean, the game is still being successful on the PS4 with their online thing, but I'm not big into multiplayer. I like playing games by myself. And what I did like about this game was you play as 3 different characters of Trevor, Franklin, and Michael, and each character has their own kind of special power, where Michael can slow time down, and then you have Trevor I forget what his power is, but then you have Franklin who can drive better than anybody. But it was kind of interesting watching, and the Los Santos is basically Los Angeles. And it was kind of cool to see. I like how you can fly planes. The story was very interesting, and I liked how it connected to Grand Theft Auto 4 a little bit. I like Grand Theft Auto 4's story a little better than Grand Theft Auto 5. I thought there was more to it in Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 5, it felt more about the multiplayer than about the single-player experience. But you know what? It was fun. It actually felt like you were driving a car. It felt very realistic. And I like the characters for the most part. So, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4 or Grand Theft Auto 5 was definitely a game that I definitely want to put on this list. At number 9, 2 Rockstar games back-to-back, and that is, number 9 is Red Dead Redemption. I love Westerns, and really I didn't love Westerns when I first played this game, but I love Red Dead Redemption because it's basically Grand Theft Auto in the West, and I love what you're doing. You're basically you're a guy who's hunting after these guys that used to be a part of your crew in order to keep your freedom. And I love how the game is like you have that. It feels like looking back on it. I haven't played this game in years and years, but the game, it reminded me of, now looking back on it, reminds me of being Clint Eastwood or being John Wayne in the West. I love just some of the things they do in this game. I just thought it was just incredibly fun. I love the guns they're using, and it's very different. I haven't really got into Red Dead Redemption 2 yet, but I'm going to get into that eventually. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption, I love the main character, I like the story, I love the ending where you're just going off in a blaze of glory, and I even like the zombie one. It's completely stupid and ridiculous, but I love it. All right, at number 8, I think a game that is just incredible with a great story and takes one of my most beloved characters and especially my childhood, and that is Batman Arkham City. I mean, Batman Arkham Asylum was the first one. And the first one was great on its own, but in the second one, we bring in a host. You bring in the host city of Gotham, kind of, and you play as Batman. And I love how they bring in the voices of Batman and the Joker and all those characters from Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. And the game is very similar to like Assassin's Creed, where the action gameplay. But I just love the comic book stuff they were able to do with bringing in villains like the Penguin, Mister Freeze, Joker, bringing in Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, Hugo Strange. So many great Batman villains in this game, and I just thought it was so much cool using all the gadgets you can. And like I said, I love the story. I like at the end whenever Joker dies. And sorry, spoiler alerts. I guess I should have said that at the beginning. But when you play that game, whenever at the end, whenever Batman's like, the funny thing is, even after all you've done, I still would have saved you. And Joker, that is funny. So, yeah, Batman Arkham City, it's definitely a game that I love playing. It's good to reminisce about. And, yeah, I definitely kind of want to get that collection and play it again. So, yeah, Batman Arkham City, definitely worthy to be on this list. At number 7, this game is not going to be on a lot of people's list, but this is definitely on mine. My number 7 is Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age Origins, I was just like, I don't know, that kind of looks stupid. And then when I played it, I just fell in love with it. I love how you have these different origins for the character. You can play as three different races between a human, an elf, and a dwarf. And it is a by the numbers fantasy story. You join this elite group called the Grey Wardens, who have to go off and stop the Blight against these dark spawns, which are basically orcs. It's Lord of the Rings, and I love Lord of the Rings, and I love this game. I love the characters you can build, the races, the romance element of it. BioWare just at the time made some of these those incredible games with dealing with conflict, relationship, different endings, and really, I think Mass Effect really for me was the game where I was like, I really like RPGs, and that was really Dragon Age and another game on this list really made me go like, yeah, I really did enjoy this game. And I love the characters. I love some of the characters like Liliana, Morrigan, Alistair. And I liked all the games. I even like, I know a lot of people are going to give me flack, but I like Dragon Age 2 too. I like Dragon Age 2. It's a standalone story. It's not about saving the world. And I like that. And I like where they're going with this franchise. I'm hoping Dragon Age 5 or Dragon Age 4 will come out with the next generation, because I'm really looking forward to playing the next Dragon Age whenever that finally comes out. At number 6, what's the theme of the episode? I guess you would say the music I use, and that is Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed, the first game came out back in 2008 or 2000. When did it come out? I think it came out 2007. It was 2007, 2008. Yeah, that's right, because Assassin's Creed came out 2007. This came out 2009. And the first one, I was like, it's very repetitive and all this stuff. And Assassin's Creed builds all that and just creates a great sequel game, and you follow a whole new assassin. I love how this game goes into it. You have this thing called the Animus, where using a person's DNA, they can relive their ancestors, their life story, their history, and to introduce one of the coolest characters video games has ever created. And with Ezio Auditore da Firenze, you live as this character as he watches his family get killed, as he goes on this quest of revenge, learn what it means to be a part of this assassin's brotherhood. And like I said, the gameplay was fun, the action. I mean, at the time, this was like my gateway drug into this action video game series. I mean, a lot of other games like Arkham City, it's very inspirational from what Assassin's Creed 2 did. And Assassin's Creed still going to this day. It's completely different than what it was in Assassin's Creed 2, but my gosh. And like I said, good characters, a very interesting villain, what they did. I love Assassin's Creed 2, and I liked what they did at the end whenever the character starts talking to Desmond, and you're just a very interesting ending. And yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 definitely makes this list, and yeah, I love this game. My number 5 is definitely a game I played many times, and it's another fantasy game, and that is the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. This was my second Elder Scrolls game. I did not care for Oblivion. I didn't like I just was not loving the game when I first played it. And then when I played Skyrim, I was like, I don't know. I just don't care about Oblivion, a sequel. But then I started playing it, and it felt a lot like Fallout. And this game is just so great. I mean, you're the Dragonborn, who you fight these dragons, you absorb their souls, you can shout like a dragon, shoot fire breath, frost breath, Fuswata! I mean, there are so many cool things that this game you do, and I like how you could play different styles. I mean, I'll be honest with you, my favorite style of playing is just getting some fire in my hands and start shooting fireballs at people, or getting some lightning, shooting force lightning, go unlimited power! This game is incredible. I love Skyrim. It is definitely one of my favorite games of this generation. And like I said, the story was very interesting. It was okay. It wasn't great, but the open worldness of Skyrim still makes it playable till today. And I'm waiting for the next Skyrim to come out, or the next Elder Scrolls game, because I'll definitely get that on day one. Alright, at number 4, I have The Last of Us. The sequel is actually coming out this Friday, and I actually just pre-ordered my copy, so I should get that probably Friday. I don't know if I'll get to play it, because I'm still playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and I'm going to finish that game, because I hate to stop a game halfway through and then pick up another game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to The Last of Us 2, but the first game, emotional, man. Emotional. I mean, this is Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog, they create Crash Bandicoot, the Uncharted series, and there you have these creatures that are zombies. So they're kind of zombies, but it's this flu thing that was spread from like this plant thing or things that affects ants. So this virus actually exists. It mutates so well. I mean, if you look at it today, I mean, the coronavirus never affected humans until today, and this game gets to emotional levels with the main character. I forget what the guy's name is. It's Joe. Joe's character, being the main character, who at the beginning of the game loses his daughter, and then as the game goes along, he finds this connection with Ellie, and him and Ellie. It's just a great little father-daughter story. And then whenever Joe just says, "Screw humans, I'm saving this girl I care about, who's basically become my new daughter." This game gets the emotional, and then the sneaking, and then the terrifyingness of Last of Us. It's just great. I love this game. Definitely one of the best of the generation. My number 3 is a cheat. And I went with the Mass Effect trilogy because I considered them all one game. And this is one of the games I played over and over again. I love sci-fi, and BioWare with Mass Effect create one of the great games of this generation. I mean, you play this character, Commander Shepard, who spans 3 games of Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3. There's these aliens, or these big alien eradicators of all sentient life, called the Reapers, and Commander Shepard has to find a way to try to stop them. You build relationships with characters. The first game, like the villain Saren was great, and then he just was trying to do the right thing, trying to save all life. And then Mass Effect 2, it was like you have all these interesting characters, these loyalty missions. And Mass Effect 3, the gameplay of Mass Effect 2 and 3 is so much fun. I hope EA announces that they're going to have a remastered for the PS5 comes out maybe next year, whenever they get around to it, because I would love them. Because Mass Effect Andromeda, it was okay, it just did not feel like the Mass Effect trilogy that I loved, and I just thought this game was great. Commander Shepard, the relationships. I mean, Varys Vicarian, probably one of the greatest side characters in video game history. I mean, whenever Garrus was like, it's like, remember, Shepard, I always have a better shot than you. You're just like, that's great. And like relationship between him and then Tally, and then this game is just incredible. The story writing is great. The ending, like I said, it's the weakest part of the series, but but it quote John Locke from Lost. It's not about the journey, Jack. It's not about the ending, Jack. It's about the destination. It's not about the destination, Jack. It's about the journey. So I love these games, and yeah, I had to put Mass Effect at number 3. It would be number 1 or 2, but just the ending and then some of the parts of the game I don't know, but I love this series. At number 2 is, I love this game as well, and this is the other Naughty Dog game, the Uncharted 2, the Thieves No Honor Among Thieves. I believe that's what the title of the game is called. I love Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 is great. I love the story. I love the characters they bring in. I mean, the first Uncharted is great. The second one picks it up. The gameplay is a lot better. The shooting's better. But didn't bring in new characters like Chloe, and seeing Drake and Elena reconnecting was great. And then bringing in Victor Sullivan, who's only in the game for like a few minutes, but when he's in there, he's great. And so, I mean, some of those reasons, I only know Uncharted 2 is my favorite of the franchise. I think actually Uncharted 4 is my favorite of the Uncharted franchise. That's crazy to say, but I think that is my favorite of the franchise. But I love the Drake thing, and then the thing with the guy who voiced Alistair in Dragon Age. And the villain. Overall, and Uncharted is basically a modern day Indiana Jones, and I would love for a good movie to be set around Uncharted. But yeah, Uncharted number 2. I'm so glad I got to play these games because I was an Xbox 360 guy. But I had a couple of buddies from Murray who I was able to go over their dorm when I was in college. Got to play these games along with Last of Us, and I'm so glad I got to play all these games. And I do have the Uncharted trilogy, and if I ever get fondness of playing Uncharted again, I can play Uncharted. Alright guys, my number 1 game of this generation it's going to be a weird one, but hang with me. My number 1 is Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is a game that it was the first game I played on the Xbox 360 because the Thanksgiving of the year I got the Xbox 360, which I believe was 2005 or 2006 or something. I hadn't been much of a gamer, really, to be honest with you. I played some games like Kingdom Hearts 2 over and over again. Me and a buddy of mine, we used to play Star Wars Battlefront 2 all the time. We were in this endless battle of galactic conquest that we never won. And so he was over, and he let me play his Xbox 360. He brought it over for Thanksgiving, and I just started playing Fallout 3, and I was just sucked in. And the thing around Fallout 3, it takes my love of history, where it's set in Washington D.C. and a nuclear Washington D.C. and you have the monuments, and the world's just blown to hell, where the United States and China went to World War, and you play this character known as the Lone Wanderer, who goes from his father, who's voiced by Liam Neeson, runs away basically to finish his lifelong mission, connected it to Revelations, the Bible verse, where try to bring unlimited clean water to the wasteland. The story very interesting of the Enclave trying to take out. I think Fallout 3's story is great. I just think it's a great story. I think that all 5 of the DLC was great. The Pit would have been the weakest of, but all of it was very interesting and fun. I mean, from playing in a simulation of the Battle of Anchorage to going on to a mothership Zeta, going to a spaceship in a Fallout game where it's all about post-apocalypse and you go to this futuristic spaceship. That was very cool. And then Broken Steel expands the story instead of just ending where you kind of die. And overall, guys, Fallout 3 is one of the reasons I love RPGs and the reason why I've stuck with gaming for so long. I love the Fallout franchise. I loved Fallout 4. I liked Fallout New Vegas. It was alright. But Fallout 3 has always held my love. It's actually probably my favorite game of all time. And for me, it's just the gold standard of gaming for me. It's just, I love those big open worlds. And when an open world can make me fall in love, like Fallout made me fall in love with that world the first time I played it, then that's game magic. So guys, that is my top 10 games of the last generation. I will, like I said, if I play enough games, because I haven't really played a lot of games since this new generation came out, but I've been playing a lot of games, so I'm thinking whenever the next generation starts coming out, I'm gonna do another top 10. We'll do the top 10 of the PS4, Xbox One generation. But before I end this, I have a few honorable mentions. I have Grand Theft Auto 4. Love that game. It was fun. Love the New York vibe with all the gangs and everything. L.A. Noire set in 1940s where you're a detective for the LAPD. Love that game. I love the detective. I wish they would make us another one. I would totally play it. Fable 3 is one of my favorite Xbox exclusives. Be honest with you, if a Fable 4 ever came out, I would probably get an Xbox just for that because I love those games. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That and Black Ops, I really enjoyed both of those Call of Duties. But Modern Warfare was really the first big multiplayer game I played, and I really like it. And the campaign for Call of Duty is incredible. And finally, I went with Assassin's Creed 3. I love Assassin's Creed 3. I love being set in the American Revolution. I love seeing where you start off as the villain of Haytham McKinway, and then you find out he's actually the villain. And I like it's not just good and black and white, it's more gray. And that's what I loved about what Assassin's Creed 3 did. It gets a lot of flack for. And I think Connor's a very good, interesting Assassin's character. And also, I would throw in Assassin's Creed 4 and Brotherhood. Love 4. That was a cool pirate game. And Brotherhood, I love the continuing journey of Ezio Auditore. So, guys, that is the end of this episode of Darth Easy's Game Corner. It was a little longer episode than my last episode. And like I said, I won't be doing this a lot. I might do another one every so often, maybe do a top 10 protagonists for games, top 10 side characters in games. So overall, guys, I really enjoy doing this. So guys, make sure you subscribe to the Darth Easy Show YouTube channel. This is the YouTube channel where all the Darth Easy gaming shows, the Darth Easy's TV recap, and any other podcast I decide to do in the near future is going to be on. So if you want to stay tuned with it on YouTube, go to there. But it's also on iTunes, so check out the Darth Easy podcast network on different feeds from iTunes to other things. And also, guys, make sure you check out my other YouTube channel, just Darth Easy. That's where I just do my movie reviews, my TV reviews, and video games. It's a classic reviews every so often. So, guys, until we see each other again, all too easy.